So last time I talked about how in 2007, um, I started getting really depressed because everybody would go to Mexico and leave me home alone. In 2008, one time I was ditching school and I got caught by the police. And they went to take my fingerprints to the police station because my name wasn't coming up and nothing came out. So they figured out I was illegally in the United States. So my dad did his best to become a citizen. And in 2008, they told me to leave the country and come back in basically the right way. So I went to Mexico and I met this girl, the one that I ran into over here the other day. And in this time I was still depressed. I really liked the girl at school named Angela, but she kind of friend zoned me, and I really liked her, but nothing ever happened between us. So around that time, I used to hang out with this girl named Christina. I didn't know Christina was Angela's cousin. And so, Christina would sleep over my house. But we never really did more than like make out and just small stuff. I really liked that girl, but when I went to Mexico, well, actually, that girl was my friend's sister. So my friend got kind of pissed when he found out, and I didn't know that was Angela's cousin. We broke up. I came to Mexico, and I met this girl here in Mexico. Um, First, we didn't really like each other. I met her through my cousin. We didn't really like each other, and we were kind of like there was tension between us. But one day, I got a nosebleed, and she ended up helping me to fix a nosebleed with napkins and stuff. And we made eye contact, and out of nowhere, we started kissing. One day, we went out with my cousin, and we were drinking. We went out to like the river, and we would drink a little bit. And me and that girl went out into the woods, and I we basically did the thing. So we started going out, boyfriend and girlfriend, and sooner or later I came back to the USA and we had to break up. So we try to stay together, we try to make it work. But when I came back a year later, that girl already had a boyfriend, and this whole time I was in love with her while I was in high school as a senior. But yeah, when I went back, she already had a boyfriend. So this was in 2009 when I went back. She had a boyfriend. So, here in Mexico, I messed around with some girls, kissed some girls, dated some girls. But I went back, and also I forgot to add that from age 11, when I had my first girlfriend, up until like age 17 or 18, I had about 30 different girlfriends, and I would just break up with the girl like every 2 weeks and get a new girlfriend. But this girl in Mexico, I really fell for her, or maybe it was just because we were forced to break up. And it was the same thing that happened when I was a kid with my first girlfriend from the same town. We're practically neighbors. And so it was just history repeating itself. And I would think about this girl a lot in my senior year. But when I went back, she had a boyfriend. So, we try to make things work still, but didn't really work out. So I came back in 2009 from Mexico. At this point, 2007, 2008, I was thinking really negative. And when I went to Mexico in 2009, I started reading The Secret. And well, not really The Secret, it was a book called Science of Mind. It was about the law of attraction. And when I came back from Mexico, I started thinking really positive, and just, my life was changing from a very depressed, apathetic feeling to being very positive. And I dated this girl named Lisa Poo. I really, really liked her, but she was super innocent. And one day I got drunk and I cheated on her. And my friend's girlfriend, I guess there was some drama between us, and that was her friend too. So we broke up, and I had a lot of drama with the friends because one of my friend's girlfriends, I don't know if she lied or said something happened between us, but it never did. So in this time, because what happened with my friend's girlfriend, We never kissed or anything, but we were hanging out one time, and I told her, like, you know, you should talk to this guy because, you know, I don't want any problems. And he had told me something. He wanted to talk to you. When he found out that I was hanging out with her, you know, it was a lot of drama with my friends, and they kind of outcasted me from the group. So in this time in 2009, I went to a party once, and I was making out with a girl. It was like around December, and I saw this girl that caught my eye that also went to the same high school as me, and we kind of started talking and dating, and I made a bet with my friend that I would sleep with that girl before he sleeps with her friend, and so we made the bet, and I ended up dating that girl. I ended up sleeping with her, but I fell in love with her, and this was in 2010. This girl, she was an Asian girl, and for many, many years, from 2010, maybe for 10 years, maybe for 15 years, I was still in love with that girl for the longest. And after her, I just really couldn't love anyone. And that was from 2009, 2010. Well, 2010 all the way up until 2011, 2012. I dated a girl named Lisa. She was a hoe, and she cheated on me with my cousin. But I still loved her even though she was a hoe, but it was extremely disappointing. And she also cheated on me with a friend. So I just really had trust issues after that. And but I still love that girl, not as much as I love the other girl. I'm gonna call her Ruth because I don't want to say her full name. And in 2013, I had another Asian girlfriend. And she was sexy. We used to do the dirty a lot and stuff, but we were always trying to avoid having kids. And eventually, I came to Mexico when my uncle died in 2013. And when I was in Mexico in 2013, I had a lot of crazy dreams. I was spiritual then, but I wasn't Christian. I used to believe in Horus and Buddhism and all that. And when I came back, I broke up with her because I didn't want to keep having sex with somebody that I wasn't in love with, and end up having a kid and like not being together and, you know, messing up the kid's life. So I went celibate, and it wasn't until 2014, 2015 that I became Christian and got saved. And so I was celibate from 2013 all the way to 2023, basically for almost 10 years. So in 2023, this girl from here, from Mexico, that I fell in love with in 2008, she told me that this whole time she was still in love with me and that she wanted to get back with me because she was going through a divorce. But me, because I'm Christian, I didn't want to marry or be with a woman who's still technically married. And so, you know, basically 15 years later, she was telling me that she was still in love with me and that she thought about me this whole time. And so it was really good to get that closure and to give her closure too. But at the same time, I felt like it just wasn't the same anymore, and it felt good to finally be able to say no and to just kind of be over that relationship after so many years. And basically every single girlfriend that I've had, every single girl that I've broken up with, every girl that, you know, I've been with has came back in one way or another. In 2011, Lisa came back. I mean, I dated her in 2011. In 2016, she tried to come back. But because our relationship had so many trust issues and it was based on a foundation that was weak, it was just really hard to try to fix all that. So, you know, I kind of told her off. And so, you know, basically I got closure from every single girl except one, which was Ruth. And you know, all this time I thought that I missed Ruth. I thought that I missed Marisela. I was trying to fill a void in my heart, but really what I needed was God. And now I understand that, but sometimes in the moment, you know, you just can't really see it. And sometimes things, relationships, they don't work out how we want. And sometimes you might love somebody, but it's always important to do the right thing instead of just following what our heart says, because our heart is deceitful and wicked above all things. And so yeah, I wanted to tell you guys a story because I was super depressed when I first met this girl. Um, and it kind of helped me to get out of the depression, falling in love, and meeting girls. Even though I got depressed again after we broke up, it slowly helped me to start believing in love. And out of all the many girlfriends I've had, maybe two or three, maybe four of those girls I really, really loved. And the rest, I mean, I obviously liked them. They were beautiful. We got along. Most of them were still friends. But really, it was maybe one or two girls that I really loved. And now coming back to Mexico, it brings back a lot of memories of when I was young in 2008, the moment we said goodbye, and years that went by without seeing that girl, wondering what happened to her, and just hoping that she was okay. But now I feel like I'm over all of the girls, even the one that I fell in love with in 2010, Ruth. I was in love with her for over 10 years and we weren't even together. I love that girl. She got pregnant by some other dude. And, I always wished her the best. And I kind of kept my distance. But even when she had that kid with another guy, I still loved her. I'm not sure if to this day she ever got married. And finally, after so many years, over 10 years, I was finally able to really get over it. And now I just wish her the best. And I wish the best for every girl I've dated, honestly, and all my old friends and stuff. But definitely, I mean, if anyone is going through the same thing, where you went through through a relationship that really affected you and you didn't get closure, or maybe somebody friend zoned you or rejected you, or maybe even with your wife now, you might not feel like the love is there anymore. I want to tell you that if you put God first and you trust in Him, He'll restore your heart, and He knows our desires more than we do. And so I'm thankful to God that I've been able to kind of get closure from most of these relationships, or all except one really. And God has given me everything I wanted. Even all my exes and everything, they have all came back wanting to return. But honestly, to me, my true love is God. And I always try to do the right thing, and I'm celibate, so for me that's more important than my love life. Yeah, this story's been on my mind for a bit because I was truly depressed in 2007, and these girls, they did help me get out of it, but they also eventually also made me get sad. And now that I have Jesus, and I've been through this, I've had all sorts of girlfriends and stuff. I know what love is. I know what heartbreak is. Or maybe sometimes we think something is love, but it's not really love. But yeah, I just want you to know that God, He cares about us. He cares about our emotions, and He will give you the closure too if you want, and He'll reveal things in your heart, and He'll set your path straight. So just trust in Him, and whatever you're going through, if your love life is lacking, just trust in God, and He has the right person for you, or He can restore your relationships, but you just gotta have faith in Him. So yeah, this girl in Mexico, even though now, I mean, honestly, there's at least 3 or 4 girls that in the past 3 years wanted to get at me, but they were all either going through a divorce or already divorced. And I always think twice about that because for me, honestly, if you're still technically married, I wouldn't go for it, because adultery is a pretty serious sin. I mean, there's no sin that God won't forgive. But yeah, I have had to basically turn down a lot of beautiful girls recently, but it's mostly because I'm trying to do the right thing with God. And it doesn't mean that I don't like them or love them, or that I don't find them attractive. But for me, it's more important to do the right thing with God. And I know that He's going to guide my paths. And I also pray. I pray for my exes, and I pray for their mans and their relationships and all that too. When you can sit down and you can pray for your ex, or you can pray for that person you love and their other partner, even if it's not you, and you can legit pray for their happiness, that's true love. True love is being able to accept that maybe somebody, the person you love, you can never be with them, but still praying for them and praying for their partner, or and wishing the best for them, instead of the pride and trying to do better than them and wishing them bad. It's better to just pray for them, and to ask God to also heal them and their relationships. And that's what I do now. You know, I pray for all my exes. I pray for the girls that I talk to. I pray for my friends. I pray for my enemies. And I want to say thank you guys for being there for me. I know I pushed away a lot of people. I had unfollowed a lot of people because I just felt I needed to focus on God and not social media. But now I'm back, and thanks for everyone who's been patient with me. And all the people that I follow on Instagram, and a lot of the people that follow me on Instagram, we've actually met in real life. And I want to tell you that I do care about you guys, and if you ever need prayer, you can just ask me. But yeah, you know, I mean, I've had everything in my life. You know, at one point I've had money, I've had fame, I've had tons of beautiful women. And for sure, there's nothing like having one wife and kids and a family. That's the best thing, you know? And don't let the media lie to you. Eventually, when you sleep with a lot of girls, I mean, if there's no love in there, it all just becomes the same. The next day, you're just gonna wake up and it's gonna be the same. And you know, when you get a lot of girls, it's not even fun messing around with easy girls. You start wanting a challenge, and you know, you want something that's gonna last and not something that's temporary, just a one night stand. So whether you're single or married, or you missed your ex, or maybe there's some relationship you went through or something that you were still looking for closure, just go to God and ask Him, and trust in Him. And He cares about your emotions. He cares about fixing these problems in your heart. And the Bible says that God gives us a new heart, and He removes that heart of stone, which I definitely had. And He gives us a new heart. And so I'm glad I've been through this journey, because bigger than anything, bigger than money, bigger than fame, bigger than you know, lust, it's having a good relationship with God and being satisfied with your life. And there's truly joy in that, being content, whether you're single or married, being happy with what God has given you, whether it's a beautiful wife or whether it's the ability to be single, but just be thankful for that. And you know, one day I do wish that I can talk to Ruth one last time. I do wish sometimes that, you know, I can talk to her in heaven or in another life. I wish that we can both give each other closure. I felt like that girl still loved me for many, many years. And one night I got jumped, and she messaged me to see if I was okay. And I told her, I can die happy now that you messaged me. And this was about 3 years after we broke up. And she said, you know, my boyfriend's gonna read this, right? And I said, he's not gonna beat me up worse than 5 people. So, you know, we had our moments and stuff, and I know that girl truly cares about me. But also I respect it enough. Even though she's not married, I pray for her and her family. And now that she has kids, I don't want to take that away from her and from her family. So I would actually prefer if her man became Christian and took good care of her. So yeah, sometimes, you know, we have to pray the prayers that we don't want to say, you know, to ask God to bless our enemies, you know, to pray for our exes, pray for their relationships, even if it means they won't end up with us. True love is being able to accept that and wishing the best for that person, even if it means that their happy life is without you. And so, you know, I've been doing that. And also, I smoked weed for many, many years because I felt lonely and depressed. And it always was kind of the easy way out, and helped me to forget about it. But now that I've been in Mexico, I haven't been smoking. And so I hope and plan to quit. And so it's been pretty good. It's been almost a week right now. People have been offering me all the time, and I've just said no, and I've been sober. So thanks to God for that too. And I think I'm going through a time in my life where, you know, I really do just want to learn how to enjoy life sober without having to be high. I'm not really much of a drinker. Sometimes I drink a beer or two, especially right now that I'm trying to stop smoking weed. But because I've been smoking weed since I was like 13 or 14, not daily. I started smoking every day in late 2007 after I went through my depression. But because I've been smoking weed since I was a teenager for over half my life, maybe 20 years, I am addicted to nicotine. So I also have to smoke cigarettes for the withdrawals, because I don't know if any of you have ever had nicotine withdrawals, and that is one of the worst feelings ever, and you can actually die from it. So I've been trying to cut off and ease up on that, and hopefully it goes well, and maybe I won't ever have to smoke weed again. I thank you guys for listening, and I don't expect most of you to watch this whole thing, but hopefully if there's maybe 1 or 2 people that watch this whole video, maybe you've been going through the same thing. Maybe you're married and you feel like you missed out on life, and I want to tell you that you're not missing anything. If I could trade, you know, all those nights with all those different women, if I can trade, you know, all the girlfriends I've had for one true love, I probably definitely would. Although, I mean, we all have our lives and we can't change or go back in time. And if you're one of those people who's stuck on someone, maybe who didn't want you, maybe who loved you but didn't show it, just know that God will give you closure, and pray for that person. You know, even if you're mad at them, even if deep inside you feel something about that, just pray for them and pray for God's will to be done and not ours, and wish them the best. You know, that's the best thing you can do if you love someone. Yeah, and just pray for your enemies. I know sometimes it's hard because maybe you'll feel like, oh, if I pray for this person, God's gonna bless them more than he's gonna bless me. But you just gotta do it, you know. The Bible says even sinners are good to those who are good to them, and even pagans and heathens lend to people that they know are gonna pay them back. But we should do good and expect nothing in return. And yeah, with my friend Chris, I won the bet, but at what cost too, you know? I ended up falling in love with that girl and getting my heart broken when I found out she was pregnant. And out of the many girlfriends I've had, 30 or more, and I've probably slept with over 50 or 100 girls in my life, I honestly lost count. But that one girl, I really loved her, and even to this day, I mean, I don't know if I'm truly over it, you know? Even though I don't think about it as much, even though I finally able to wish her the best, I'm not sure if I ever truly got over it. But I know one thing for sure is that if she does get married, because I believe in doing the right thing, if I find out one day she's married, for sure I'm gonna be 100% over it. For me, that's a big no-no. You know, you respect men's wives, and if somebody's married, you don't mess with that relationship, because adultery, if you do adultery, it means you lack understanding, and it's a very foolish thing to do. Although we all get tempted with it, you know. We all get tempted either when we're married to cheat on our wives, or when there's that beautiful married woman and it seems like she's the one for you, but she's really not, because that's the property of somebody else. So always do the right thing, trust in God, and don't trust in your own heart, despite what Hollywood says. Pray for your enemies, and I guarantee that God will open doors for you in your heart and in your life in every single way.